Hi guys, welcome, and today in this tutorial we will see how we can use NRF logger to do the logging of our UART port. So let's get started. First of all, we are going to create a new project, so go into the my computer, and then here we have extracted our NRF SDK. So first of all, we will go into the C directory in the NRF SDK. Here we have extracted our NRF SDK. We will go in the examples folder. We will go in the peripheral, and then we will copy the template project from here and copy it into my projects folder. So let's rename it as NRF logger tutorial. Okay, so open the folder and then go in PCA10040, go in the blank Sagar Embedded Studio, open the EM project file, and here we can see this template, and we can see it's all empty. We can use this template project for our peripheral devices because it contains almost all of the links to all of the files, so we can directly start working on our project. So first of all, we don't need all of these folders, so I'm going to delete them because I don't need these reference files. They are not going to be used, so I'm going to remove them one by one. So I have removed most of the files, but still there are some of them, and our external should be deleted as well. So we have some of them. Here you can see we have all the libraries. Normally we don't need to use all of them together, and we can remove them. But now I think so we are good to go with our project for now. So later on you can remove them one by one if needed. We need to configure our sdk.config file. So first of all, I'm going to open this file and press Ctrl plus F, and then I'm going to write here nrf _log. So here it comes here and it tells the NRF log is not enabled, so I'm going to put a 1 here to enable it, Ctrl plus S to save, and also what I'm gonna do is I will make some space here. I'm going to add some configuration here. I have already got this configuration. We are going to paste our configuration here, and this all configuration is available in the link description below, and also this main code will also be available in the description link, so be sure to check it out and play with the code. And I will also make a small cheat sheet for the functions, so you can test around the different function related to the tutorial. Okay, so I have pasted some configuration here. Here I am enabling the UART logging backend, so it's going to enable it, and Ctrl plus S to save. Make sure this E and here this E is below this H, okay, and above this E, okay. So make sure to paste it in a proper place, and Ctrl plus S to save, and then we are going to open this in the cmsis configuration wizard. Right click and then click on cmsis configuration wizard. Here we will go in the NRF log, and here we can see NRF log is enabled, backend is enabled, and we are good to go. I'm going to close this, yes, save, and okay. So we are good with the NRF logging. So first of all, we have to include some of the libraries. To include some of the libraries, I don't think so we have all of them here. So first of all, I'm going to include some of the files. So right click and add existing files in the NRF log folder. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go in the NRF SDK, and then we will go in the components, and here we go in the libraries, and in libraries we go in the log. Here go in source file, select all and open. It says some of the duplicate files. Do you wish to duplicate them? I would say no. And here you go, we have some of the files, and basically we will be using them in our logging. So now our configuration is done. We are ready to use the logger. For that, first of all, we have to include some of the header files. So we will include #include and nRF log, and then I'm going to include nRF log ctrl, and then I'm going to include the backend, which is nRF log default backends. Okay, we have included all of the files needed, and now we need to initialize the logger. So to do that, we will use a function which is app error check, and in this function we are going to use nRF log initialize, nRF log init, yes, and we are going to pass it null. Okay, we have initialized the log, and we have to initialize the backend as well. So nRF log default backends init, and it's good to go. One more thing to mention here is that there are two methods for logging. One is deferred, and other is when deferred is disabled. So in the deferred mode, what happens in deferred mode is that our logging data is saved in a buffer, and it's transmitted when our controller is going in the sleep mode. So this method is really efficient because it doesn't use the processor while it's working on some other stuff. But for now we don't need to go into much details for that, so I'm just going to disable the deferring method. So in the NRF SDK, if I go in the nRF log enabled, you can just scroll down a little, and here you will see nRF log deferred, and just change it to 0 and Ctrl+S to save. Now we are good to go. Ctrl+S to save, and now our logging is initialized, backend is initialized, so we are good to go. We can print on the UART port. One good thing about the nRF logger is that it puts a label behind the logging data, so we can see if it's debugging data or it's from the application or whatever. So as you can see, we can change that level. If we put the logging level to 4, it's going to give all the debugging data, and we can change it to any other level. For now we will just use the level 3, which is the default, and it's going to be a simple info label behind our logger. So let's use it. So first of all, I'm going to use a function for logging. So it's not printf, but we are going to use another function which is nRF log, and here we will use the info. So basically this will put a label behind our output as info and then our message. So let's give it a message. This is log data from Nordic device, and we don't need to end the line, it's automatically gonna do it for us. And let's create a counter so we can show some stuff. So it's unsigned integer, and let's give it some value as 0. And here let's print out our log data, nRF info, and I'm going to use counter value, and it's going to be %d, and then we are going to put, so it's similar to C printf function. Okay, and then nrf delay milliseconds, and it's going to be 500 milliseconds. And be sure to add the delay file here. NRF. Okay, so we are good to go. Delay is done, and then we will increment the counter every time. So this is a simple code, and it's going to increment the counter, and it's going to show the counter value, and all this log data is going to be transmitted over UART port, so we can see our UART port. So let's build it. Go into the build, click on the build. It's going to take some time because there are a lot of libraries, extra libraries. We have to delete them one by one, but for now let's just go with this one. Okay, so once the code is compiled, we are going to download the code in the target device. So go in the target, connect with the J-Link device, erase all, and then download our code. And once the code is downloaded, we have to open a serial terminal application, and I'm using PuTTY for that. So minimize this and turn on the PuTTY application. So we are going to use the serial terminal application for that, and to see which port is connected with the PC, I'm going to go in this PC and right click here, go in the properties, device manager, and then I'm going to go in the ports and see here which port is connected. So in my case it's COM11. Close this and go here, click on the serial. Our communication rate and baud rate is 115200, and our COM port is 11, and we are good to go. Let's open this port. So here we can see this counter is incrementing by 1, and if I reset the device, you can see this is a log data from Nordic, and here you can see it's telling info app and then our counter value. So basically we can see our data through the logger and using some simple configuration on the UART port, and it's really useful. I hope so you guys have learned something new. I'm going to put this code and some extra stuff in a file, and the link is in the description below, so be sure to download it and check out the file, copy the code, and play around with the code, and hope so you are going to learn a lot. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button if you like the video. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.